Hello and welcome back to PopCulture Reacts as we are on a mini Rammstein return as we are picking up with Made in Germany and the Mein Herz brennt EP release for the next three videos as we are doing the one original song from the Greatest Hits album, Mainland, which is today's video, and we'll be doing the two versions of Mein Herz brennt that were on the EP. So just a smidgen of Rammstein to get you through until we get to the self-titled in a way down the road.
And this was this released 2011. This
Yes,
album was it? Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. So
yeah.
the album, the Greatest album, came out in 2011, and the Manhattan's Brent EP was 2012, and then we had no releases until 2019's self-titled album.
Yeah.
So
Do
yes,
did I remember years ago greatest hits being a much bigger thing than they seem to be now. I'm sure there are still some greatest hit stuff, but it was almost cyclically in bands, wasn't it? Of going, you get to like your third or fourth album, and then you get your greatest hits out, and quite
yeah,
often it traditionally seemed to be it's how bands got out of record contracts that they probably had to sign that weren't brilliant. So I don't know, they had a 3-4 album deal, and so that was like, right, we want to maximize our earnings on our next album, or get a better deal for us on maybe our touring stuff. So yes, we'll agree for you to do a greatest hits. But yeah, I don't know, I rarely see anything that says greatest hits anymore. Though having said that, I think partially because I'm rarely in what you'd consider a music store anymore, because I don't think there are many music stores anymore.
yeah.
But
Well, obviously at this point they'd just finished the Libris for Aladar tour, and the, there was talk of they were going to go on hiatus, and this is the end of Rammstein as we are to this
as
point.
we know it, yeah,
They did do a greatest hits tour. I think it went on for nearly 2 years. But yeah, it was that point of this was them and the putting the flag in the ground that Rammstein was being put on the back burner for a bit. Till wanted to do his solo stuff and bits. Richard wanted to go and do his solo album Emigrant. So they were like, we've done Rammstein now for at this point nearly 20 years
yeah,
consistently. We want to do other things that we can't do as Rammstein.
yeah. I mean, like, certainly with that touring schedule as well. I imagine, and here we've got like a kind of, let's go with 9 to 5, but a 9 to 5 sort of grind day job. So is it really that different? But yeah, I go, if I've been touring, I say on and off, but relatively solidly for about 3-4 years, I probably would go, now I want a holiday. But when I say holiday, I mean I want an extended break. I need
Yeah,
to not be living, breathing this. And of course, if they've done well financially, which clearly they had to kind of this, it affords you that opportunity to take that break for, I don't know, health, well-being, but also for creativity, doesn't it? Sometimes I
yeah.
think you do need a break from this stuff. Just very, very quickly, I was going to say, to pick up on that greatest hits thing when I was saying about albums. I've never owned a greatest hits album in my life, because I always went, well, I've got all, like, generally if I like a band, I've bought all their albums, so
Yeah,
I just wasn't a greatest hits buyer. But I think this is the sort of thing where this would have some appeal to it, because it's got an original song, some rearrangements and things like that. Whereas more often than not, yeah, traditionally your greatest hits would be, here's five from the first album, five from the second, five from the third, and I go, well, I
yeah,
own the first, second, and third. Why am I buying another album with all the tracks I already own on them again?
yeah. It's one of those. I got it because it had Mineland on there, and the version I got also had a remix album as a second disc.
Yeah,
So I was like, well, I want it for that.
yeah,
You know, I'm a sucker for you putting that little small of something new on there, then of course I've got to go and buy it because I want the new thing too, and I'm also a completionist. So
I don't
have
know.
to.
Like I think my mindset would be, I could go and buy this of which I own 90% of it, or I could go and buy an album that I own, that I've heard or own none of the songs of, and that was where my mind always went. Like, so I guess it's that more, but that different more. Mine was more new,
Yeah.
and not wanting to get swallowed up in the old. But then that also did get to the point, and there are some over there that you can't see. A house. I don't own the CD player anymore, but I've got a house full of CDs, and I'll be honest, a lot of them were shit. But I went, oh, that's new. I'll buy that.
Yes. So shall we go to Mainland?
We shall. Let's do this.
Plenty of sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal.
Ich geh mit mir von Ost nach Süd. Wohin gehst du? Wohin? Ich geh mit mir von Süd nach West. Wohin gehst du? Wohin? Ich geh mit mir von West nach Nord. Ich geh mit mir von Nord nach Ost. Wohin gehst du? Wohin? Ich geh mit mir von Ost nach West. Wohin gehst du? Wohin? Ich geh von Land zu Land allein. Und nichts und niemand
So, Mr. Seddon, do you want to come to my land?
I don't know. Like, I love the music, by the way. I want to start off straight away by saying, musically, I really like that. Got very fixated on the variation throughout that was going on with the drums, and I know there's
Yeah.
variation with every single part of it, but yeah, the drums really did capture me on this. I love the fact that the rhythm and the beat was changing so regularly with the drum in there. And yeah, as I say, musically and vocally, uh, yeah, really good. Like, really sort of did it for me. I tell you right now, that I ain't got a clue what the song was about.
No.
Like, I don't know whether it's just it's been a really long day, but I was following on the lyrics and I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just not getting it, and so yeah, like I'll probably need to do a bit more digging into the lyrics and all of that jazz. But yeah, absolutely lost me. Or I wasn't picking up anything outside of kind of the repetitive. I'm sure it has sort of subtext in there, or maybe something really obvious that I'm just missing. But yeah, I didn't get it. But I think that's on me.
Yeah, it lyrically is quite simple and vague at the same time. East to west, north to east, south to east. You're here in my land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very simple lyrically, but sometimes it doesn't have to be massively deep. I just think this
Yes,
is
it
fun.
does. Yes, it bloody does. Don't you lie to the audience.
But yeah, no, I just think this is a fun song, and the video is just as fun with it. The
Oh yeah.
1960s style beach party, and
Oh, but like ramped right the way up to Baywatch as well, isn't it? Like, it
yeah,
kind of runs that gamut from the Monkeys TV show up to Baywatch, all crammed into one very colourful affair.
with with sort of, as if you ever watch any of the comic book stuff, so many of those sort of cheeky little Batman 66 style nods and wink to the camera as well
Yeah.
in there that is just all for it. And then we get modern day fire and brimstone and metal Rammstein, my land. um, I don't know which one I'd prefer to go to. you know 60s one looks fun, but there's fire and booze it.
I grew up next to the seaside, and I think I went to the beach about twice in the 20 odd years I lived next to it. However, I will say I'm going to the beach, like, because the attraction for me is that era of TV. Um, there's a lot of great stuff from those days. Although it might be because I just haven't watched it for a very long time, and maybe they've aged badly. But yeah, I love stuff from back in that era. So yeah, that would definitely get the win for me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back in the lyrics, and I'm going. I'm just thinking about that. My land, my land. Is it always like this is my world, or I don't know. Someone help me out in the comments. Like, give us your interpretation, because I'm going to need it on this one. Yeah, as I say, I'm going to put it down to it's been a long week, and
Hmm.
my brain isn't functioning as well as it should do. As I say, normally does. Let's go with should
Yeah.
do. I think that's fairer.
But yeah, that said, for me, just a fun little ditty. And I said, when I first heard this, because this was obviously released just before the greatest hits came out, I was like, yeah, there's enough reason for me to go and buy it. I just want this song. um
I presume, like, that it was a song maybe they'd been working on. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we better put an original track on the greatest hits. I presume it's maybe one that hadn't made the cut for whatever reason.
or didn't fit
Um,
on something,
yeah,
probably.
yeah, or maybe like they were part of the way through it when they were recording an album, so it's just like it's just not quite there yet. And I guess with that idea of taking a hiatus, it's probably like, well, we don't want to sit on this for what ultimately was 8 years, wasn't it, between the greatest hits
But,
and the
yeah,
next album?
yeah, because it's 10 years between albums, and yeah, it was 9 or 8 years between the greatest hits and self-titled. Yeah, so
I mean, as much as I doubt they probably had that definitive plan of going, we'll be gone for 8 years. But yeah, maybe it was just something where they just went, yeah, we want to get that out there somewhere, and this is the right place for it.
so what did you lot out there think of Mainland? As always, comments down there. Obviously helps Ed and understand what's going on with the lyrics.
Me no
Um,
thinky, me know
he,
nothing.
he's having a moment. Um, as always, like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the other YouTubey things. And until next time, and mein Herz brennt. Goodbye.